There is an alarming rise in the rate at which calcium carbides are used to force artificially ripening of fruits in Nigeria's domestic markets. Wholesale traders and retail fruit vendors who are mostly in a hurry to sell off have made the use of carbide a common practice.
I use drone. I put what they call lamb orange. You get something they call obono. And again, I use leather. When I put the leather inside drum, I will cut my banana pieces to pieces and put it inside and cover it. The flowing day, I will remove it and wash it and put it inside basket, tomato basket, and cover it. I'll be wetting it day by day and the evening. So on 4 days. 4 days it will ripe.
My business is fruit. All the food we're there here now we will sell them. They ripe, make ripe. The thing we take this make ripe that if you buy Carbide to put for inside this, you put them for inside pocket or anything. Come put the banana on top. More thing go ripe. Then we go do okay. Now we carry the banana come for village, for our village. And we call it sell them for here. As we sell them for people, we dey here. People they happy. They thank God say all this way we dey sell. No one way spoil there. They okay, fresh. Nobody say the one way no good. Way we dey sell. Nobody die. Says you dey sell them. Nobody don't say. They're not gonna tell anybody say the somebody don't die. We thank God for that one.
Calcium carbide is a chemical compound in pure form, commonly used in welding, which presents as a white crystallic substance. Experts say carbides are harmful to the human body and could be life-threatening because they contain traces of arsenic and phosphorus, which are both considered as cancer-causing elements.
Calcium carbide is also used in pesticides. It's a very corrosive chemical. It's also used in other chemical processes, and it's quite harmful when taken into the body because that's not its original purpose.
In May 2019, the Consumer Protection Agency warned against the use of carbide and other related chemicals to ripen fruits.
The duty of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission are twofold. One is to protect consumers in the marketplace from abuses, and secondly is to ensure stiff competition in the marketplace among competitors because of the health implications associated with it, with the use of such chemicals to ripen fruits. For instance, it's called artificial ripening because not that artificial ripening is bad but to force ripening, there are some implications health that are not good for the body. So that's why we give out that warning.
However, the warning did little or close to nothing to change the practice in the Nigerian market as fruit sellers continue to use different chemicals to forcefully ripe fruits such as mangoes, bananas, and plantains.
The sun. How much is the sun? 200. No, the fruit is plenty now, like 10 bags.
What kind of fruits?
Pineapple and... Sorry.
Does pineapple require carbide?
No, it's not pineapple. What is it called? Plantain and banana.
Okay.
Because I want to buy pineapple, that is why.
At Zuba Fruit Market, for instance, carbides are sold to fruit vendors or any person interested in buying. But while these chemicals are readily available in the market, they are sold on the radar as captured by hidden camera.
We are aware of carbides. Some people are using carbides and other means, but it's not advisable. Yes, even in the office here, we are creating awareness from the guys to the buyers that let them not use this kind of chemical and the rest for ripening the plantain. Yes, that's it.
Hukumar lafiya kusan in ce kusan 6 years to 7 years. Saboda da ko da mutane sun zo siye masu siyan irin wannan abubuwan za su zo behind ba a cikin kasuwan nan ba su ce za su yi amfani da shi wannan hama din su sa da sauransu, amma tunda muka zauna da hukumar in ka kusanci nan ma ko mai siyarwa ne domin muka ganka kama ka zami mu danka ka a hannun hukuma saboda za ka lalata mana dan an tabbatar da cewar ana samun in ana amfani da shi yana ba da matsala ga mutane. Mu kuma mun tsaya tsayin daka ne akan sana'armu, ba za mu kasance masu ha'inci ba. Shi yasa duk wasu wanda suka kusanci kewayen nan ma ba a cikin kasuwan nan ba, mu da kanmu ake zuwa a nuna su kuma a kama su, sai ya zamanto ma ba ma sa kusantar nan yanzu. Kuma in muka san cewar kai mai siyan kaya ne, kana amfani da irin wannan dan biyan bukatar ka cikin gaggawa, to kayan ma mu ke siyar ma, saboda muna da task force a cikin mu wanda suke lura shin wane in ya sai kaya ko kuma wanne irin kaya yake sai. In an kawo kayan da mun tabbatar da sai an sa musu wannan an musu karfa to sai mu ce ba kayan nan bane.
Most traders who use such chemicals are either ignorant of the health implications or totally unaware that it was banned. In spite of the ignorance, the health threats remain.
Carbide is actually dangerous because it has carcinogenic properties. These are things that can cause cancer. It also leads to dizziness, can affect the liver, can affect the eyes, cause permanent eye damage, can affect the brain and a whole lot of other things. And the effect is gradual. It doesn't just, it's not drastic. It's gradual, builds up over time, and people do not know that when they consume things that are actually harmful to them, it may not occur now, the effects might not show now, it could be in the nearest future, probably when they are much older or any other thing. And I would say it's very harmful because something that is being used for pesticides, used to kill pests, cannot be taken into the human body and be assumed that would be helpful. Over the past years, we've had less cases of cancer in Nigeria. And then subsequently, we've been having, I'd say 10 years ago, things just changed. We started having more of cancerous cases in Nigeria. And it led to a question of why. We usually have these things maybe outside the country, and now it's being imported into Nigeria. And here's the answer to the question. We're putting some certain things in our foods that leads to this. And cancer is on the high rise in the country as of now.
Until more Nigerians become enlightened about the dangers, it is therefore expedient to guide against consumption of chemically ripened fruits, and the first place to start is how to identify them.
When you check the vegetable, the appearance is meant to have a uniform color. But if the color is not uniform and it has dark patches on it, then that vegetable or fruit is suspected to have been ripened by carbide. Another way to test some of these fruits is to put the fruit inside of the water. So because of the properties in a naturally ripened fruit, once it's immersed into water, it sinks to the bottom. But a fruit that has been artificially ripened by carbide would float on the water.
It's a bit hazy to identify levels of regulation that will check the use of carbides to ripen fruits. The Consumer Protection Agency, for instance, has limited power to enforce and monitor the sale of food. On the other hand, the National Agency for the Control of Food and Drugs could not be reached for comment on the use of carbides and policies put in place to control the consumption of the deadly substance.
I would say there is need for a policy to be formulated, adopted, and also implemented for the general public and the local market to be cautious and to be wary of the use of calcium carbide. For them to know that if they do not play that role, they might be causing the deaths of millions, the death of future generations. And it can also lead to an economic sabotage, because when you don't have the right manpower in the country, probably they are lost through to death, illnesses and all. It kind of cripples the economy. It doesn't put us on the right radar globally.
Fruits play important roles in lives of every human being, so regulators cannot turn a blind eye to the use of these chemicals, especially as they present a clear and present danger to those who ingest them.
And so if a person just probably took maybe 2 fingers or 3 fingers of banana, which was ripened by carbide. At that point in time, it is not an immediate threat to the person. So at that point in time, if the person knows, okay, I consumed this fruit that has carbide, but not in large quantities, the person can begin to take lots of water.
However, hope is not lost, as experts say there are ways to detoxify the human body when it is suspected that fruits containing carbide have been consumed.